the most valuable lessons today on the Daily Is Show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition, liftoff.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Is Show, a show not just for rental housing providers, but anybody looking for some white space on your calendar. Welcome to the show today. Today's topic, we are talking about your most valuable lessons. And I was thinking of a topic that I was trying to, there we go, if I can click on this thing, right? So I was thinking of a topic that would be relevant, especially as we're coming into the end of the first quarter. I know it's hard to believe this year is going super, super fast. And I am having an amazing year with Landlord Coach, not just Landlord Coach, but business in general. And it's partly because I'm tracking a lot of metrics. I'm doing a lot of really cool things that I hadn't really been doing really super intentionally up to even just a couple of years ago. But really, we're talking about the most valuable lessons that we can learn in business. And I was going through a course that I had bought for a while ago, probably several months ago, and I had never actually started it. And as much as it pains me to admit it, it was a course from Grant Cardone. He drives me absolutely bananas. I don't believe a lot of stuff that he says, but I need to recognize that not to lose the lesson. The guy is an absolute brilliant marketer. And so I needed to kind of set aside my own personal opinions about him. And I'll tell you, that's when I realized that I've got lessons that I still have to learn, even though I coach and teach and all this other stuff. Probably one of the most dangerous things that I can ever say is that I've arrived, that I know all there is to know, and I don't necessarily need the thought or the teachings of Grant Cardone, even though there's certain things I flatly disagree with him on. Flat think that he's just don't agree with it. Some things I just think he's a flat bully, but he is a brilliant marketer, and he's got a lot of things to offer there. And it was just interesting as I was thinking about the different lessons. One of those lessons was obviously just different ways to share different messages and so forth, different content. And it made me think of a time when I worked for a local hotel here. And I'm not going to say the name because I don't even think they're actually in business anymore. But they were kind of a barn fire mess. And the interesting thing was this was a publicly traded hotel chain. And the interesting thing about that was that was a lesson for me. As I was working in the night audit, and I saw the way that they had run their business. And it was interesting. They ran everything by committee. Like, they made no decisions without making this. In fact, I don't know. I really don't even know how they made decisions. Most of the decisions they made, I think, were just based on a dare. But it was interesting because one of the things that I thought about when I was going through this course for Grant Cardone is about just different experiences you had, different achievements you've had, different, what are you? What experience? How would you describe yourself? I mean, in his case, he's an author. He's a successful real estate investor. He's done all these different things, right? And I was thinking, well, as I was going down, who I am in terms of, okay, I'm a father, I'm a, man of God, I'm a husband, I'm a Marine, I'm a veteran. I've done all these things, right? And I was thinking about the different achievements. Well, when I worked at this hotel, I was working in the night audit as a night auditor. And it was interesting because they had decided that they wanted to spend it was a lot of money. I don't remember what it was. It was something like $30,000 upgrading this hotel, and it desperately needed updates to this hotel. And it was interesting because I thought about it, and they were spending $30,000 putting microwaves in the hotel. And I'm thinking, and this is like a 200-room hotel, and I'm thinking $30,000, and you're putting, and it was microwaves and something else. It might have been microwaves and refrigerators. And I was thinking, they're putting microwaves and refrigerators in this hotel. And the hotel didn't have a lot of things. It didn't have like Wi-Fi. It didn't have access to really any. There were some main things that they didn't have access to. And I was really curious. I was like, why are they putting microwaves in the hotel when that's not what people are asking us. Most of the time when people would call up, they would ask if we had a pool, which we did. We had a pool. It was an outdoor pool. Now, here in Indiana, if you know anything about how Indiana weather works, between the days of Memorial Day, when generally pools open, and Labor Day, generally when pools close, however many days are in there, there's about 6 days where you can actually swim, where it's not like too hot, not raining, too windy, and there's not locusts or fire burning out of the sky. So there's really not that many days. So having an outdoor pool in Indiana is absolutely meaningless. And really, for the amount of time that the maintenance supervisor had to spend just keeping that pool from turning green, it just didn't add up. So I thought, well, why wouldn't they rather just enclose that for that kind of money and actually have more like a destination rather than the microwaves and refrigerators. Now, again, not really knowing what other conversation went into this. But the point is, they never asked anybody. They never asked us. They never asked the consumer, because there was times where people would book the room at the hotel and they say, "Oh, we were told that you have a pool." Factually, that's correct. But if they called in June asking if we had a pool, yeah, we have a pool, not knowing if they were going to book in October or December or January or whenever, it's a fair question, and they had every right to be upset. So it was really interesting. When I'm thinking about the most valuable lessons, in that story, is that the way that that company made decisions, I swore up and down I would never make decisions the way they made decisions, which was always from the top down. They never made decisions from the bottom up, asking the people that were doing the actual work. And I thought, man, I'm never going to run a business that way. And to a large part, I feel like I always have asked the people who are going to do the work for their input, right? Just like when I'm doing my coaching, I always want to know what kind of things, what are they struggling with? What is my avatar struggling with? And when they give me feedback, hey, I need you to show up differently. I need you to ask me these questions. Just this week, I had a great conversation with one of my inner circle coaching clients about that one thing. Hey, I need you to coach me differently on this one thing. Okay, yeah, I can do that, right? Tell me what you need, and I'm happy to do that. And there's times where I need to ask them, how do you need me to show up for you? What do you need from me? I got that from another person who's in a 90-day challenge with me. So it's just really interesting that the most valuable lessons really isn't, so much what to do, but really what not to do. And that was one of the other lessons that I got from this Grant Cardone course that I'm in is, when he was in Undercover Billionaire, that he was watching some other person. I don't remember who he mentioned, but he was watching that person and asked him what not to do. What mistakes did you make? And he was sure not to make those same mistakes. Now, again, there's lots of people who, they follow him to the ends of the world, and he can't do anything wrong. And quite frankly, I think that's a little bit dangerous. But in terms of the most valuable lessons and the things that he was sharing, and the things, you can learn an awful lot by watching other people's mistakes. Yeah, obviously you're going to learn from your own mistakes, but the real true wise man is the one who learns from the mistakes of others. So that's all I have for today. It is a slow weekend. Finally, I need some time off. I've been working the last couple of weekends, and it has been busy. And of course, baby planning, right, is running amok right now, which is exciting. We're very excited here at the Dolfini household. So anyway, I'm going to sign off. But before I do, please be sure to place a value on your free time, because if you don't, someone else will. But most important, there is no amount of money that will make time irrelevant. Have an awesome day. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next time. We'll see you next week. Take good care.